Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll have the introductions along the table. Each and every candidate will have an introduction along the table. We'll start off at the far end there. We need the microphone passed to the end, actually. Bring the microphone to the center and make it easy. Instead of each candidate say their name, their party affiliation, their affiliate with the party, mention any websites as well, and
Are we ready?
yeah, go ahead for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, is there some? I don't hear. Is there a switch on? Is there a switch?
Hey, that works. Okay, my name is Marc Boyer. I'm party whip for the Marijuana Party of Canada, and we've been offering the city $15 to $20 million worth of revenue through a tax loophole called provincial sales tax. We are allowed as a political party to collect a tax given by the clubs and remit it to the city. And in that way, the city gets to control the clubs and the police get to protect the clubs. It's irrelevant whether you smoke marijuana or not. The $20 million worth of income would be a great asset to the city. And the sick and poor of the city deserve protection of the law because marijuana is not a giant crime. Now, the other issue we're running under is the city is running a criminal racket. Since 2004, Larry Campbell has been sabotaged the charter. You know, the Vancouver Charter? The United Nations says we can't change a line of the charter. In 2002, we voted not to keep the charter. And then in 2004, Larry Campbell passed in closed meetings the ability to change the charter, and there's over 100 lines of the charter that now have been changed, and every one of those is a crime. They can't operate the city without this crime of changing that line on the charter. And the best way to get back our city is to fall back to the charter. And that way, human beings would be represented instead of corporations. Corporations are ruining this city, okay? The city is being run as a corporation, and the uncivil servants have taken over. All these provisions have made the regular council members into puppets.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, vote for me, Marc Boyer, Marijuana Party of Canada.
Going in that order, is it? Thank you. Rick Orser, IDEA Party candidate. IDEA stands for Independent Democratic Electors Alliance. I really liked the sound of that when I was invited to join the party. I ran as an independent last election. And why am I running? Why did I bother running? Been a resident of Vancouver since 2009, moved here from Burnaby. Grew up in Burnaby, basically. But been in Vancouver lots. Went to school in Vancouver 3 years. And why did I get involved in politics? I got involved with politics because of wellness. I saw a vision, what they were doing with all the green dreams they had. And I said, well, where do people fit into all this? What about people? And I thought, well, green is good, but I think wellness, health and wellness, and focusing on people is even better. And that's the reason I got involved. And I've gotten support. COPE is endorsing some ideas, such as the TransLink Wellness Hub is one of them. And the idea there is to reward people for using transit, improving their health, and getting more people out of their cars. It's real simple. I've got another idea with the referendum, the TransLink Wellness levy, I'm calling it, and basically it gives people a chance to redeem the value of their levy that they pay for use on transit. And lots of ideas, but it's not just about my ideas, it's not just about the party's ideas, it's about your ideas and representing them on council and having a more independent voice there. I think can do that for you. Thank you very much.
What, it doesn't go that far? Oh, all right, sorry about that.
Wait, one more.
One more, sorry, we didn't have quite a bit of people here last week.
Thank you. Hi. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that we're on unceded Coast Salish territory. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'm glad that it's not raining, and for those of you living nearby, we're able to come out. My name is RJ Aquino. I have 1 minute, so I'm going to speak a little quickly but clearly. And I'm running for City Council with a new party called OneCity. I currently work in the high-tech sector for a company that makes software for municipal governments. I live in Renfrew, Collingwood. I'm on the Collingwood Neighborhood House Board of Directors, so that's how I'm connected to my neighborhood. And we started a new party because we wanted to create real, practical, but bold solutions to address unaffordability in housing, childcare, and to create or increase transit access in the city. We've been at many debates, and what we've been hearing is that a lot of community centers have lost a lot of, instead of communities talking to the city, they've been engaged in lawsuits, and we want to change that. So we have some ideas around that, and I hope to get to talk to more about it, and I just realized that my time is running out. So thanks, and I hope to hear your questions tonight. Thanks.
All right. So my name is Pete Fry. I'm running for City Council with the Green Party. I live in Strathcona in the downtown east side, and I was the chair of the Strathcona Residents Association for a number of years. Through that role, I was sitting on the downtown east side local area planning committee, and I was also one of the founding members of the Coalition of Vancouver Neighborhoods, which is an umbrella group of about 24 different neighborhoods who are generally dissatisfied with their dealings with the city. So in that capacity, I really got a sense of a lot of the frustration that a lot of neighborhoods are feeling, and what I'd really like to bring to this election is more neighborhood involvement and integration. I'm also self-employed. I've been self-employed my entire life. I'm a graphic designer and web developer. Most of my clients are small businesses, so I'm also quite acutely aware of some of the situations that small businesses are facing. And of course, a lot of the issues that my own neighborhood face in the downtown east side, which is primarily affordability and tenure of housing. But for a lot of small businesses, there's difficulty with their own sense of tenure and keeping in neighborhoods that they've long been in, and I think that sound means I'm out of time. Pete Fry, Green Party.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for putting on this debate and for all of you for coming out. My name is Adriane Carr. I'm Vancouver's first Green Party City Councillor, and I'm extremely excited to be running with a fabulous team of 7 Greens, Cleta Brown and Pete Fry and myself for Council, 2 for Park Board and 2 for School Board. You can find out everything you want about us on our website. Talk to us here tonight. Vote.vangreens.ca. We also have our full platform here and other literature, so I urge you to read it. Why do I want to run for election? Why do I want to win again? Frankly, I love what I do. I love listening to people. I love putting your ideas into motions and amendments. I love standing up for the public interest, fighting as hard as I can for a city that's more livable, more sustainable, more affordable, that's genuinely green. And it's been tough at times. And one of the major reasons it's been tough is that when one party has a majority of seats, it can push through whatever it wants without having to listen to anyone else at the council table or any of you. I don't believe that's good for democracy. I think it has to change.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond, Louie, and I'm running for Vancouver City Council with Vision Vancouver. I'm here at Victor Robertson. Just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in the city of Vancouver. I live in Hastings Sunrise, and 3 children, 1 at UBC, 1 in high school, and 1 in elementary school. A dog and 2 fish. I ride my bike often, but not always. And I think I generally am an average citizen in the city of Vancouver. I had the pleasure of serving all of you for 4 terms on city council and trying to advance the issues I think are important for our city. Housing affordability, childcare, making sure that arts and culture are supported in our city, making sure that neighborhoods are represented, and to Adriane's point is listening to people when they come and making amendments to projects and whatever that comes forward. And oftentimes that does happen, and I'd be proud to say that I've worked with many people in the community to make that happen as well. I know that I'm out of time, but I'm sure we'll have lots of questions. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Gustafson. I'm running for Vancouver City Council with the Cedar Party, along with Glen Chernen, his brother Nick Chernen, and Charlene Gunn. I'm sort of an atypical candidate, never been married, got no kids. Basically, 48-year-old bachelor. I just like to be left alone. But I'm not left alone, because every time I look at the newspaper, I see another example of how big business has thrown a bunch of money at the government, whether it's Harper or Christy Clark or Gregor Robinson, and suddenly big business seems the one benefiting whenever decisions and policy are made. I believe that we still have a functioning democracy. I'm proof of that. A regular working class guy can run for government, and that's how Glen family with the Cedar Party. I found 3 others that feel the same way. We were just regular citizens. We want to be really transparent and accountable to communities, which I can do just like now. Just show up and hear what you have to say. Thank you very much.
Hello there. Thank you very much for holding this event tonight. My name is Glen Chernen, running for the Vancouver Cedar Party. I was born in Vancouver, born and raised here. I've come from a family of 4 children, and 4th generation Vancouverite. So I have 2 children and a dog, and no fish. Let's see here. So I started the Vancouver Cedar Party because I believe that Vancouver was in serious need of repair. If any of you are familiar with an organization called Transparency International, they are an anti-corruption watchdog renowned around the world. What they expect of any Canadian municipal government is 4 basic security, levels of security against corruption. They are a lobbyist registry, independent auditors, an integrity office, and an ombudsman. Guess how many Vancouver has? None of them, 0. So I think that that is the reason why everything is wrong, and if we implement some of those offices, some of those ideas, then things will get better.
Hello, my name is Sid Chow Tan, Chow means food in Chinese. I'm a 40-year resident of Vancouver, and I live in Kensington, just over at Inverness and King Edward. I'd first like to acknowledge the Coast Salish people on this traditional territory we are on. My reason for running is an affordable Vancouver. I've been hearing that many people are taking money from their food budgets to pay the rent. Our young people are having difficulty. This has become a very unaffordable city, and there is a housing crisis for low income and working poor in this town. I would like to see everyone get out and vote, whether you vote for COPE, Coalition of Progressive Electors, which I am running for, or any of the parties. I believe that it is so disgusting that we have a 34.6% in people that go out and vote. So we need to give people to vote for, and I believe that COPE, the Coalition of Progressive Electors, check out votecope.ca, votecope.ca. Thank you very much.
Good evening, my name is Orser Munoz. Thank you for inviting us. I am running with COPE for City Council. COPE is running on a platform of affordability, but most of all, I want you to remember one acronym, CAT. Community, Accountability, and Transparency. This is what we need. We don't want 4 more years of the Vision Vancouver in power. Why? They changed the period. They believe that they have the support of everybody. This is an opportunity to tell them, no, they don't have the support of this community. They don't have the support of the city. We are going to change the city. We are going to bring the government to the community, so you don't have to go to court to sue these people. We are going to work together. We'll be clear, and the same we'll do with all the other councilors. We have Lisa Barrett, we have Gail Gavin, we have Ralph Pratt, who are also running for COPE. So on November 15th, support COPE, support Mina Wong, support our platform. We are going to work for the city. Vancouver is not a commodity, it's a community. Thank you.
Genova, and I'm running for Vancouver City Council with Kirk LaPointe and the NPA team. I'd like to start by saying that I've been elected for the past 3 years to the Vancouver Park Board, and I've really enjoyed my time on Park Board. I feel that I've been able to accomplish a lot. Actually, I think that I've been able to accomplish more in opposition than the current government has in government. And I've been a big advocate and supporter of the community center associations. And I've also been able to work with our provincial and federal representatives to secure $5 million for the senior center. I chose to run for council because I was taught growing up that you leave this world a little bit better than you found it. I think that I have experience that I can contribute to Vancouver's important issues, and my top priorities on council include public consultation and making sure that we give power back to our communities, affordable housing, and making sure that Vancouver capitalizes on our strong economy and the Olympic Games that we just had.
Thank you.
Is it only a minute? I thought it was 2 to start. Oh, sorry. I thought it was 2 to start.
Hi everybody, I'm George Affleck, running for re-election with the NPA, along with Melissa and Robin Dow back there, and the rest of the team, and Kirk LaPointe, our mayoral candidate. I got involved 3 years ago, partly because I've been very, very involved in the community. I was the chair of my PAC at Falls Creek Elementary. I was the chair of the Carr Co-op. I was chair of the Comedy Festival. I'm the director on the Children's Festival. And I was asked to run because, and I was pleased to do that because I love Vancouver. Adriane Carr kind of touched on some of the issues that we've been challenged with the last 3 years. It's been very disappointing to see the lack of democracy really that's happening in City Hall. So we want to change that moving forward. I think it's really important that we change that, and it's really important that we get the most people out on November 15th to vote. Thanks very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Federico Fuoco, born and raised in Vancouver, still live in East Vancouver. I own a restaurant on Commercial Drive for 16 years and part of the Commercial Drive BIA for more than 10 years. The reason I decided to run for office is because I'm sick and tired of paying high taxes, property taxes, and getting no better services for it. The other thing is I'm a results-oriented guy, and I believe in results as opposed to intentions. The division being in power 6 years, we've seen congestion going up. We're the most congested city in North America. We've seen taxes going up. We've seen homelessness going up. We've seen the deal with the union, 1004 union, that instead of working for the taxpayer, they work for their special interests and for themselves. And I think that's criminal. I think it's disgusting. I think that if a politician goes to City Hall, they need to work for you, the taxpayer, not for themselves. They have to be good stewards of your money because you're the ones that pay our bills. You're the ones that pay our salaries. You're the ones working hard to pay taxes for the city. Vote Vancouver first on November 15th. Kick these guys out. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Johl. I'm with Vancouver First. Founded Vancouver First about 3 years ago out of frustration with big money parties that didn't seem to listen to anyone but their donors. To be frank, everybody in this room works harder but lives less. Wakes up in the morning, pays more taxes, has less services. And this is the habitual habit that seems to get worse and worse every year with every government. And so the formation of Vancouver First was a simple idea. Real people with real solutions. None of the people running with us are politicians. None of them dreamt of being in politics. But they were driven to it for one reason only. Change. Change from the status quo. We have Federico Fuoco, Susan Vata, who's a PAC mom, Massimo Rossetti, 25 years with the Community Center Associations, Malai Klajic with QP 1004. Yes, we are the one with an actual QP 1004 member who's received $0 from the union, $0 from a developer, and $0 from a corporation. Imagine that. Now, we also have others, 2 Olympians, Brent Hayden, Johl. Thank you, sorry.
Now we'll go to the question round, and okay, we'll start off with Jesse in the question round. The first question will be, we'll just go from south to north. First of all, name one solution that you think will make housing in Vancouver more affordable. You've got 1 minute.
1 minute? Not a lot of time. First thing that would make housing affordable, take away the speculation. The idea of having 5 community plans driven all at the same time is insanity personified. We are trying to redefine the entire city in less than a year, and then we are causing land speculation. This speculation can be seen in Northway. The entire community of Northway was rezoned. Every single family home was eliminated, technically on the books. This caused massive speculation. We now have developers going in like vultures. Continuing on, you see Oak Ridge, you see the Canby Corridor, the Land Assembly, Granville Street. Affordability is being driven by speculation because the more we rezone things and try to increase density, which started with ego density in Sam Sullivan, the more we actually increase the unaffordability and livability of this city. We have to stop, take a breath, and realize that we cannot create matchbox housing for the entire world. We have to allow communities to grow at a reasonable pace. And this can only be done through transparent, meaningful consultation in collaboration with the organizations and the community groups that are present.
I actually bring some experience to this area because in my day job, aside from park board, I work with a not-for-profit organization to provide affordable housing for people with disabilities. And I think first of all, we have to look at the problem and how broken it is at City Hall. You know, there's a need for social housing, there's certainly a need for market housing, but what about the people in between? And the Rental 100 program certainly does not address that need, and people cannot afford that rent. Also, under Vision Vancouver, we haven't been able to have the affordable ownership that was promised to us, and we need to certainly look at CACs and regulating that. The city is addicted to CACs, and the NPA has some great solutions that we have released today in our new platform, our affordable platform. And I only have a moment, so I can't speak very much more about that. But I think what we certainly need to do is I'm getting the paper there. We need to make sure that we're consulting with the people under city plan to make sure that, first of all, we know where people want housing in their neighborhoods and communities, because it should be your decision, not us at City Hall telling you how it's going to be. Thank you.
Yes, COPE has a plan, and that plan is a housing authority. The party released this study about a month ago. And what we are going to do is we are going to formulate social policy. We are going to stop renovictions. We are going to build more affordable housing. And more importantly, we'll be transparent to the community. We are not going to appoint any developer or a special interest group to the housing agency that Vision appointed a few weeks ago. We will be clear with the people. We have policies, we have a plan, and we'll build more affordable and social housing, because our definition is different from the definition that Vision has. They don't take into account the 1/3 of the salary, they take into account 50 or 60 or more % of the salary. And this is important for the city, this is important for the community, it's important to take the community into consideration, and that's how we are going to work together. Thank you.
Hi there. I will agree with much of what has been said, especially Jesse there. I would take pretty much every plan that Vision has implemented as far as housing, probably everything they've implemented, and just throw it in the garbage. I don't agree with the rental housing 100. They keep giving it different names, but really they're programs and incentives to developers, not renters. What we need to do is we need to give incentives to owners of the current housing stock to retain and repair and renovate their existing homes without a whole bunch of red tape and people breathing down their throats and giving them fines and bylaw officers giving them crap all the time, so they can put in more rental suites, retain the rental suites that they have without worry. But yeah, the zoning, we need a comprehensive citywide plan and not do spot zoning that encourages speculation. Thank you.
Good evening, Raymond, Louie, Vision Vancouver, and I think Jesse had it right to a component piece of that. Speculation needs to be addressed, and that's why the land use planning components were introduced. That's why we introduced and accelerated the amount of planning, because we were listening to neighborhoods. Each neighborhood wanted to have their plans updated, and those that didn't have plans, they wanted to make sure and have the assurity that there wouldn't be speculation in their neighborhoods. So we went out into all these neighborhoods to create these neighborhood plans based on the public input that we received from the public that lived in those areas. The second component of affordability is, of course, is demand, and it's been growing. And because people are migrating to cities, and the city can't, of course, stop that. Lastly, lack of supply. And that's the reason why Vision Vancouver has been working very hard to create housing affordability across the entire spectrum, whether it be social housing, 1,500 units that we secured funding for these past 3 years, and while we intend to build more rental housing, because over 50% of the citizens in Vancouver are renters, and that supply is getting very low. Without that investment, of course, we will be finding ourselves with less affordability overall as well.
In 2013, we had more building starts than in any years since, or in the last 40. More housing starts, yet housing prices have gone up. We have not become more affordable. Just delivering more housing is not the answer. It's got to be housing that's affordable. The first thing to do is do not provide taxpayer subsidy to housing that starts at bachelor suites at $1,443 a month, which is above market rent. We have to change the definition of affordability to truly match the need. We have to change, as others have said, the CAC, the upzoning and speculative process of spot rezoning and replace it with a citywide plan. Then we have to absolutely protect what currently is affordable, and that's the housing that's standing. And protect those older apartments, protect those older homes, and prompt reinvestment by perhaps allowing tax rebates for those costs of upgrading that kind of housing. And we have to develop a new system of getting affordable housing like Whistler has. The housing authority there gets 10% out of every project of 10 units or more. And it's at cost in all sorts of forms of housing.
Hi everybody, Aquino OneCity. First, let's define what affordability is. Affordability, the long-held definition by the CMHC is that affordability is 30% of household income. That is how we can, that's how much money we need to set aside in our monthly budgets in order to have affordable housing. It's 30% of household income. OneCity has two solutions. We have something that's called 20/5 housing, where any new developments across the city that are over 5 units, 20% would be reserved for low and middle income families and would be deemed as affordable. The other policy that we have is called, we're calling it the flipping levy, which is to control speculation so that any home or any property that is sold within, say, the first year, there would be a levy on the speculative profit, and that money collected would go towards building more affordable housing. Thank you.